There are a number of people who, over the past few weeks, have spent a lot of time and energy trying to convince people that there's really no reason to be afraid, that if a Islamic community center is built near Ground Zero, Sharia law is not going to be instituted. But those people apparently do not think that color alerts or duct tape are going to be enough to prevent an interfaith YMCA administered by an imam from bringing the downfall of America. This opposition to the mosque is actually pretty large. Is actually, depending on what polling agency you look at and depending on how servient that polling agency is to Fox News, there is a large amount of this country who are opposed to the building of this center, about 50 to 80%. Now there are people within that percentage opposed who also believe that Barack Obama is a Muslim. If you take it outside that figure, there are now about 15-20% who are just not sure that Barack Obama has professed his faith, has not shown that he is the good Christian that they want him to be, who has not gone to abortion clinics and shouted at women as they go in to have a simple health care procedure. This isn't unusual. Americans have frequently entertained very fantastical ideas about the things that could happen in their country. And in fact, there are many ideas in this nation that people believe that are in line with these fantastical notions, this fantastical idea that somehow Muslims are going to come in this country and institute Sharia law. For instance, people believe in extrasensory perception, or ESP. There are people who believe that houses can be haunted. There are people in this country who believe that ghosts, spirits of dead people, can come back in certain places and situations. There are people who believe in telepathy, or that there can be communications between the minds without using traditional senses. There are people who believe in clairvoyance, the power of the mind to know the past and predict the future. There are people who believe in astrology, the idea that the position of the stars and planets could affect people's lives. There are people who believe that you can communicate mentally with someone who has died. There are people who believe in witches. There are people who believe in reincarnation, that is, the rebirth of the soul in a new body after death. There are people that believe they can channel and allow a spirit being to temporarily assume control of their body. But these beliefs and the number of people who believe in them pale in comparison to the one belief that so many Americans buy into, that so many people in this country have a subscription for, and that is the belief in God. The belief that there is a supreme being who is up above us all, who is watching over us, who is somehow saying and thinking and giving us ideas on how to lead our lives, who is responding to our prayers, who is there when we need a helping hand, when we're struggling, when the man's got us down. There is a supreme being for us to turn to, and there are nearly 90% in this country who believe that this supreme being exists. That's what people need to understand. Those who are spending time and energy hoping that they are going to convince these people who are opposed to the mosque that there is absolutely no reason to be afraid, need to understand that their reason for opposition is not based in reality. Really, they aren't going to respond to this idea that the Constitution gives Muslims the right to build. Why? Well, because many take that religious freedom first off to mean freedom to practice their Protestant or other Christian denominations' beliefs. They approach the Constitution as if we are all living in the late 1700s, and they basically want us to all remember what it was like when our country was founded and go back to those good old days. And to those people, I tell you, grab your colonial plows and spades and get back to work farming and sowing the seeds. And if the soil is too dry, well, you know what? That's just too damn bad. Get back to work. Remember that Puritan work ethic. And oh, if you think you would like some rain, don't worry. God will bring you rain. He will bring you rain when He thinks that you are good and ready for it.